Hello, and welcome here on Monday, October the 7th. My camera just did the weird thing recovering data again. So, that's concerning. I mean, this is the camera that I bought originally when I started my vlog. However many years ago I did that. So it's been with me a while. It's been dropped a few times. So I guess if it's on its way out, after many years of service, I guess I can't blame it. I suppose. It's done a lot of hard work. So, a lot of filming. I thought maybe it was the SD card, but this is a different SD card in here now. So, it's the camera. Yay. But I can always film with my phone if it comes down to it and I have to. I can figure out a way to film with my phone. So, it's not like I'm going on a vacation or anything anytime soon that I can think of. A trip or anything anytime soon that I would need to, like, film. So I guess, you can film with your phone too, but I'm making taquitos. I decided, what did I look in the freezer for? I guess I was just looking to see, because I was actually like, I saw the cinnamon rolls that Mom bought, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I want one of those. And then I looked in the freezer, I guess just to make sure that I'd made my final decision. And I saw the taquitos, and I'm like, I want those. So those are cooking. I'm sure you'll hear it going beep, beep, beep at some point. My air fryer is currently working on the bed. So, last night, for regular work, my regular alarm went off, and I shut it off, and I laid there. And then my phone alarm went off that tells me get up and take your Eliquis. So I was like, well, I can't really ignore that one. So I got up, I took my Eliquis, I took my shower, I got dressed, I brushed my teeth, I got all good and ready to go to work, and then I sat down on my bed to put my socks on. Well, and I like to, like, sit and just kind of, like, relax for a few minutes instead of just, like, go. Just kind of sit there, collect my credits on Monopoly slots and just kind of, like, maybe scroll through Facebook a little bit. Just do some mindless, like, prepare for the onslaught of the day, whatever. So I usually sit on the bed anyway, but, like, while I was sitting there, like, scrolling through my phone, I was dozing off. And I was like, I do doze off again. And at some point, I laid down, and it was over. Like, I woke up at like 11:30, and I was like, oh well, I've got PPTO. I can cover it. It's fine. It's kind of... So I ended up being like 2.5 hours late to work. By the time I got around and got there, it might have been a little after 11:30, maybe. But yeah, I didn't get there until after midnight last night. So, whoops. Oh well. And that's what I don't know if, because I told Peter that story today at Parks and Rec, and I don't know if I wasn't really dozing off in the truck. I was, like, pretending to, like, bounce my head or whatever. And I think he thought I was dozing off, maybe. Because after I did that, he was like, hey, if you want to go home early and get some rest, I can drop you off on my way to lunch. Okay, he was heading to lunch, whatever. We were out doing the trash route, and then he lost his prayer bracelet. So he was trying to find that. He was retracing his steps trying to find that. But I was like, yeah, I'm always tired. It doesn't matter. Mom said that she'd been watching some of these videos. Maybe not the whole thing, because I blah, 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 blah on for a very long time. But she said I pretty much look tired in every single video, and I'm like, yeah, that's reality now, I guess. It'd be nice to get back to only having to work one job, but I don't see that happening for the foreseeable future. And I don't know, unless I get laid off again for the winter at Parks and Rec. I don't know. I don't know how Gabe's gonna handle that. I don't know how he's gonna deal with that. But I mean, even if I've still got bills to pay, so I would have to find another part-time job until Parks and Rec pick back up next year, next spring. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I've already thought about maybe getting like a weekend job, just work like, Friday evening, Saturday anytime, and then like Sunday in the morning maybe, just to... I don't feel like I got anywhere. I just don't. I was like, how can I work 2 jobs and still be in the same position that I was in last year? And even worse, because now there's medical bills and, the whole tax situation that screwed me. So hopefully the tax situation will be better this year, because I told them, I made sure they were taking out extra money from my paychecks for the taxes, state taxes and federal, so that shouldn't be a problem next year. I shouldn't have that boulder fall on me. Yeah, God bless America. But anyway, we'll see about that situation. But yeah, so it's like, I don't know if Pete thought I was kind of... I mean, there was a couple times maybe I was starting to doze off. I mean, that's nothing new for me. I doze off all the time anyway, no matter where I am. Pretty much anymore these days. So, it's like, ugh. It's Monday. We were both kind of like, ugh. But, so I came home an hour early and took a shower, and it's not even quite 1 o'clock yet, is it? I don't know what I did with my phone. I took it, it's quarter till 1, so I got home an hour early, which is nice. And my taquitos are ready, thank you. So maybe I should answer today's question, get that out of the way, so that I can answer. So that I can answer the question. Yes, that's what you do with questions. And eat my taquitos. Taquitos. How do you feel about full moons? Depends on how nice your ass is, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? Girl? I know they say, like, the crazy, like, things are supposed to be more crazy during a full moon. I don't necessarily know if I've noticed that. Things are just kind of always crazy. I don't know. I do remember there was a girl in one of my college classes. She was trying to make a point, and people were kind of making her feel stupid in some ways. Because, I mean, maybe they weren't. Maybe I'm just remembering it incorrectly, but I kind of got their point, though, because she was talking about... I don't even know how the topic came up, but this was like a full class discussion. She was discussing this with the entire class, and she was saying something about how, like they talk about how during the full moon everything's crazier, whatever, blah 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 blah, and she's like, well, maybe that's because the moon's like she was likening something like the moons deal with like the tide, of the ocean, and we're like 85% water or whatever. So maybe, I mean, I guess maybe she had a good scientific point. I don't know. But I don't, does the tide change during a full moon? I don't necessarily know if that's true, I suppose, or factual, or scientifically correct. I don't know. Because that's what people were saying. They were like, basically, they're like, the moon's there all the time. It's just, we just see more of it during a certain, because depending on, the rotation of the Earth, whatever, like, we see more of it, or the rotation of the moon. I'd scientifically correct, I don't know. So that's, I guess maybe that was her... I don't necessarily know that's what she was saying, but I don't know, because they're like the moon, the whole moon is there all the time. We just can't, the shadow of the earth and the position of the sun and yada yada yada. We just can't see the moon, all of the moon, all of the time. But it is always there. Like the full moon is always there. It's just not completely bright, you know. But that was kind of her point, was like, the tides change. Do the tides change with the moon, the moon phases? I don't know. She might have had an actual good scientific theory to test out. I don't know. Thank you. Whatever I think that was my water bottle. I don't know, because that's what she was saying, was the moons affect the tide. I don't know if they do. So maybe they affect the water within our bodies, and that's why people act crazier around the full moon. I don't know. That's just one of those things that stuck with me for some weird reason. I don't know. All of these years, I don't remember anything important or anything that I was supposed to learn from my college classes, but I remember shit like that for some reason. And being able to do this. Like, in the ghost stories of Lexington, Missouri. That's what I remember. Not anything important that I was supposed to remember. But I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Like, you go to college. This is a whole nother aside. This is a whole nother soapbox, maybe. I don't know. But it's like, you don't really know what is going to be important until you get on the job. But you got to have the piece of paper for them to give you the job. And sometimes they want experience. And it's like, how are you supposed to get experience if you're going to get the piece of paper? Like, So it's like, how much in those classes do you actually even need to learn? Because it's like you learn... I think somebody was even making that point in a class once about, like, how you learn on the job. You learn what you need on the job. Like, I mean, I guess having some kind of baseline... knowledge of, but there again, I mean, work in retail, every store is different. Every store does things differently, even in like a big company, they have a specific way you're supposed to, one best way that you're supposed to do it, which is not the best way, by the way, in case you were wondering. You probably could have guessed, though, I'm sure. But there's the one best way that you're supposed to do it, but everybody just kind of does whatever the fuck they want. So there's that. So each store does things differently, depending on where you are, and I mean, I guess depending on how high volume of a store you are, maybe that changes things. I don't know. Don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, was I on my college soapbox about, like, what do you need to learn? Why do you need to learn this stuff when you just learn what you need to know on the job, kind of thing? But yes. So full moons. I don't really feel one way or another about them. I've never ran into a werewolf. Maybe it's a were-human. Maybe it's a wolf that turns into a human during the full moon, for all I know. I don't really know. I mean, part of me likes full moons because it's brighter outside, and I can, like, when I'm walking to work in the dark, it helps me see my way. That's kind of like, I mean, I'm not as interested in Pokemon Go as I used to be. I don't play it as often, but it's like when I'm out walking, when I'm out and about, like, when we went to Clinton this weekend. So I was like, well, let me see if I can get some different Pokestops and get some different postcards to send to people. Or like on vacation, getting different, like, I like collecting, if I can, the gyms, because you get badges for gyms and stuff. So I'm not as addicted to addicted to Pokemon Go as I used to be. But it's handy to play on the way to work, because then I can use the light from my phone to see my way, kind of like if I'm in a dark area, like, just to make sure there's nothing on the ground that I'm going to trip over, like a snoozing homeless person or whatever. They were out in force on Sunday for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know. That was such a weird day. There's one, just as we were getting to IHOP, I don't necessarily know that he was homeless, but he walked out the door and he just stood there in front of the door and looked at the ground. Just stared at the ground. And Mom and I were like, I mean, we kind of made our way around him to get in the door, you know. And then I saw a couple, homeless love, yes. You know, Rihanna found love in a hopeless place, and they found love in a homeless place, which is sketchy, I would think, but super sketch. But because I know from working Parks and Rec, because I see them around the parks. He did come over and because we were out at Blind Boone Park, and he was in the men's bathroom and she was in the women's bathroom. I think they were cleaning up or something. I don't know, cleaning up for the day of sitting around or walking around doing nothing. But he actually came back over because we went in there to like clean it, you know, and he came back over, and I wasn't out there, but Peter was, and he thanked Peter for, you know, taking such good care of the bathrooms and whatever and blah blah blah. So it's like, after you mess them up, so somebody does. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be him, but you know. But anyway, and then there was a guy sleeping. There's this tiny little tree, and there's at the entryway to Walgreens. There's this little curb area, and he was just sleeping underneath the tree. And then as we were leaving Walgreens, there was a guy in one of the parking spots doing push-ups. I was like, I just don't know, man. I don't know what was going on yesterday in this town. I don't know. Because he had a bag, and I was like, is he like pumping himself up to go in there and like grab something and run? Like, is this like a theft in progress or something? I don't know what was going on. I don't know. But yes, full moons. But yes, they do light up the night a lot better so that I can see, and I feel a lot more safe walking to work, so that I'm not going to trip over something like a snoozing homeless person, or less chance of running into a mama raccoon and her babies without being able to see them because it's dark. That was fun. I was like, no, I like raccoons. Please don't rabies me. But anyway, yes, so I don't know how I feel about like the full moon and the power of the full moon, because I know, you know, it's supposed to be like probably a Wiccan thing too, where it's like the full moon, you know, you can summon George Burns. I don't know who you're trying to summon, what you're trying to do. Oh God, you devil. That's a callback. Did he play the devil in that one? I don't know. But yeah. So I don't know how I feel about the power of the full moon. It's possible, you know, once again, there's things and energies and stuff in life that we just don't understand, I feel like. So maybe energies is one of them. Minx turned around because last I looked, it was her butt, I think. But now she's stretching out and getting comfortable. But I definitely enjoy the extra light that they bring to my nighttime travels. I'll say that. But anyway, that is that. I told you about... I ended up messaging the lady with the rock, her son's rock, from Montana, and at least last I looked, because I don't have my phone in here with me. I don't know what I did with it. I got excited about those taquitos and started making those, and probably left my phone in the kitchen. Yeah, I have not heard from her yet. It was sent 18 hours ago, so I don't know how often she's even on Facebook. But there again, it's probably going to pop up as a message suggestion, not like actually in her messages. So even if she gets on Messenger, she might not see my message, like ever. So, but have not heard back from her yet. But I did message her. I don't know if I might have said in yesterday's video I was thinking about doing it, but I hadn't done it yet. But I did go ahead and, massage her. Not really. Blah, blah, blah. But yes, I have taquitos to eat, and Mingxi has more napsing to do. Napstering to do, lime wiring to do, whatever. And I'll see you for what I see you.